Do you agree that the happiest women of the West are married with kids?
I would have to look into it, but I think there are certain
and objectively we know that, right? The women with kids are not the ones carrying down statues, right?
Charlie Kirk, a staple of the far-right media sphere, absolutely loves to take questions from college students and tries to make them look foolish, often framing it as him crushing them in the debate. I will admit he's a very skilled debater, and I have seen him win many debates before, though I don't always agree with his points. But every now and then, someone sharp slips through, someone who's articulate, informed, and not easily rattled. That's exactly what we're about to watch in this clip. The debate was highlighted by Adam Mockler on his own channel, and he does a great job of breaking it all down. You'll see both his commentary and the original exchange between Kirk and a student, and I'll be chiming in with my take as well. Trust me, this one is worth watching.
Think women are happier than they were 40 years ago?
I think I would have a few responses to that. I think that women report more stress and dissatisfaction today because, not because they have more rights or because of feminism, but because they're under dual pressure to both excel professionally and also because of the domestic labor in homes that is structured around outdated expectations. So
Yep, I totally agree. And I think that women have more upward mobility than they had 40 years ago in society. So women can now experience the same highs and lows that men can without being told to shut up or sit down or suppress your feelings or take pills or drink it away. I mean, the 50s, women were not even allowed to talk about how they felt as much. So now women get to experience the highs and lows. It's not because of feminism, it's just because of equality.
So for example, studies like the OECD's Better Life Index show that women's life expectancy, education levels, professional achievements have risen in countries with higher gender inequality. So I would argue that what you're calling unhappiness is actually visibility, because now we hear women expressing dissatisfaction, whereas in the 50s, we prescribed them Valium and we lobotomized.
True.
Yeah.
That literally did happen. I know you guys know this, but that literally is what happened.
That's really rich. I didn't know women not to complain 50 years ago. That's funny.
Is that supposed to be a good answer from Charlie Kirk? What the hell?
Hold on a second. Why are suicide rates going up more for women?
I think that
Forget
encourages...
complaining. Materially, women are killing themselves more. Why is that?
I think that even if both men and women have become unhappier, men's suicide rates have risen as well, and that's also been exponential. Can you at least concede that feminism offers only one potential explanation? There could be also other explanations.
Of course, obviously, but feminism is the glaring thing in front of us where...
I don't know the stats on why or how much, the stats on women killing themselves more, but you could easily link it back to social media and a less connected society rather than feminism.
We have fertility rates down, we have marriage rates down, we have unhappiness up, and we did something in the 1960s out of the universities of Bretty Friedan and Gloria Steinem and all these feminists that basically said you're trapped in a home, go get a job, freeze your eggs, take birth control, and all of a sudden women are way unhappier than they were 40 years ago. And I just have to ask the question, why is that? Is it working? And maybe there are biological differences between men and women that we should respect, and that deep down a lot of women want to get married and have children. In fact, we should applaud it and we should support it, and we should say it means nothing if you're going to go be a CEO of some shoe company or be some banker in London. What matters if you raise children and you have something to pass down long after you're gone.
Let's clear something up right away. No serious person is saying that a woman choosing to get married and having children is a bad thing. That's a straw man argument frequently pushed by conservative voices like Charlie Kirk. They love to pretend the left is anti-family when, in reality, mainstream progressives simply advocate for choice. If a woman wants a career, great. If she wants a family, great. If she wants both, why the hell not? The point is autonomy, yet our culture still heavily judges people, especially women, who choose not to have children, often painting them as selfish or unfulfilled. And right-wing figures like Kirk and Jordan Peterson fan those flames even more. In this clip, Kirk tosses out the smug remark, "So women didn't complain 40 years ago?" as if women expressing discontent is inherently illegitimate. But what he refuses to address is the broader pressure cooker we're all living in. The cost of living is up, wages are stagnant, and life is more economically stressful for everyone, especially younger generations. That's not feminism's fault, that's capitalism. If you are someone who thinks feminism is responsible for more negative experiences in the world than capitalism, I think you should probably hit the book some more.
Okay, there's another clip to play after this. There's a part 2 and a part 3, but I don't buy the idea that feminism is making women less happy. I think feminism makes women more free, gives them the freedom to have more upward mobility and do what you want in society, which in turn leads to happiness. I think societies across the board, and I bet we could back this up with data, societies across the board are just becoming less and less happy due to being less connected, due to social media and comparing yourself to others, due to loneliness and just things created by this modern environment. Not feminism. It's such a weird, suppressive, it's just Charlie Kirk's end goal is to suppress women and lock them out of the workplace, and he's working his way back any way he can. Like, hey, women are less happy, maybe we should just not allow them to work.
I think I would bring 2 points to that. The first one is just really simple, which is that you can ascribe liberalism all you want as the cause of the unhappiness. I would argue something else. I would say that it's certain economic policy that has very little to do with the social acceptance of alternative lifestyles. I would say that we can recognize that income inequality across a vast swathe of Western countries has increased, which causes all kinds of social ills.
Hey, you there. If you guys like this video, please consider subscribing, dropping a like, and maybe commenting. This really boosts the video in the YouTube algorithm, and we would like to spread this message to as many people as possible. Let's get back to the video.
That's another one that I forgot. Income inequality across many countries has increased, causing dissatisfaction, and that was only exacerbated by COVID, which therefore exacerbated the loneliness and disconnection and the comparisons that I then talked about earlier.
Lack of social cohesion, housing price growth doesn't correspond with wage growth, monopolies increasingly become kind of emboldened to interfere with politics, and monopolies don't prioritize social health either. I think that those offer more compelling reasons for a decline in happiness than an increase in freedoms, because just one more thing, on an intuitive basis, generally speaking, people want more freedom, not less.
Okay, so if that's true, why is it? Do you agree that the happiest women in the West are married with kids?
I would have to look into it, but I think there are certain
and objectively we know that, right? The women with kids are not the ones tearing down statues, right? They're the ones that actually have obligations.
Tearing down statues correspond to some kind of smiles per capita data set that
I also just, I mean, I'm not surprised that having a full family and being married with kids means that you're happier than someone who's not. I'm sure that is true among every single race, at every single point in history, every single gender, every single sex, every single hair color. I'm sure it's just universally true. Well, maybe not with everybody. I'm sure some people are happier alone. I don't have a like wife and kids right now, and I'm happy with it. But I'm sure in general, you can find stats that show that yes, when people are married and in love and have kids, they're generally a bit happier. That doesn't mean feminism. Yeah.
And then comes one of the most bizarre false dichotomies you'll ever hear. Charlie Kirk suggests that women who aren't raising families must be the same ones tearing down statues, as if those are the only two life paths available. In his world, you're either a homemaker or an anarchist. No space for the millions of women who are single, child-free, working full-time, and living perfectly normal lives. It's astounding that this is even remotely a talking point on the right. Yet Kirk and many others fixate on this as if it defines an entire demographic. It's a strange obsession with forcing the country back into some idealized 1950s mold where women stayed home, men went to the office, and nobody dared question it. That world isn't coming back, and we're better off for it. Whether Kirk actually believes what he's selling or he's just playing to the algorithm is up for debate, but either way, it's a tired narrative. If you want to see the full exchange, head over to Adam Mockler's channel. I'll leave a link for it down in the description below. What I love about clips like this is watching that tired script fall apart when someone intelligent challenges it head on, and that's exactly what happens here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. That's a wrap from Eat the Narrative, where truth isn't polished, it's weaponized. If you guys enjoyed this content, please leave a like, drop a comment, and consider subscribing. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.